Roger, it's great to have you on InvestorStream after some time, and no doubt it's pleasing to see QXR advancing a number of key projects across its leases in Queensland. Your announcement on Tuesday is clearly a big development for QXR, with your plans to advance development at the Anthony Molybdenum deposit in the Drummond Basin, where you also have your gold projects. Roger, it would be fair to say that Anthony has not been a focus for QXR, and it's barely been mentioned in any of the updates you've released since you announced the agreement with Zamia. What's changed your thinking on the project?
Thanks, Alex. Look, we've been looking at this project just recently. Our technical team and I have been reviewing all the data that we received from Zamia and the work that Zamia did in the past. And we've been up to site and had a look at all the core and pulps and all the resources that they have stored up there, and it's all in great order. And we started to reflect on previous announcements and looking back at what Zamia had. And to our surprise, we found Anthony, and we started looking at it, and we thought, well, what? This is amazing. We've got something pretty special here. Amazing resource. There's been millions of dollars spent drilling the resource out, and it has a commercial tone to it now, and we believe we can take this to development. It's very pleasing for QXR.
So, Roger, you've clearly set out what the near-term work plan is for Anthony. Can you talk us through the project, the grade, and how it compares with other moly projects around the world? And in your opinion, is this of sufficient scale for a larger, more established player to look at it?
Well, Alex, this deposit's quite large, and it's reasonable grade. The fact is that it's in a tier 1 jurisdiction. It sits in really good infrastructure. There's roads running by, there's power, there's water, and there's no environmental issues with this deposit. Unlike most of the other deposits around the world, they're found in mountainous regions, particularly beautiful regions like the Rockies. The US has quite a few moly deposits. Not that there's a lot of moly deposits, but they are sort of centred either in the US or in China. But they tend to have a very big environmental footprint, these things, and when they're in sensitive areas like they are in the USA, there's problems, and they're getting tired. These projects overseas, a lot of them are quite old, and there's not a lot of moly projects coming on, very few indeed, and we have a very reasonably high grade, but it will ultimately come down to the fact that we need to be in a low cost quartile, and we believe we can get to that with a number of reasons. One, by reasonably high grading it, and beneficiation's the other answer. And and of course we have I guess a good team, and we're really keen on this project and looking to develop it.
Okay, Roger, so I've done a little bit of research on it, and obviously there's a lot of information on the project on Zamia's website, and there's a couple of obvious questions that have come out of that. So Zamia made a multi-million-dollar investment to drill this out. So why did they walk away from developing it? And secondly, based on the preliminary work that your team have done, could this resource grow with the drill bit if you wanted to add more tonnes?
Yeah, sure. Look, there was a combination of factors that made Zamia's decision at the day. One of them was the fact that they had an international group that were funding this project, and look, it was, I believe, in the tens of millions of dollars spent in the ground, and we understand that the funders had to walk away for their own reasons and couldn't continue the funding. And of course, it was 2013, and the time was interesting. Gold dropped probably, the most it ever has in history, from, $1,800 US down to $1,300 in about 6 months. So, corporately, Zamia were under pressure, and, there was a little bit of pressure on the moly price, but that wasn't really the contributing factor. The project stands up as it is, and I don't believe that, that was the major contributor. As you pointed out earlier, the price has gone up with with moly in recent times. In fact, it's doubled since January this year. It's quite impressive. But we do believe that we can grow this resource as well. As you asked, can we increase the ounces or the tonnes? Yeah, sure we can. That could be done in and around the deposit as it is, at depth and up close to the mineralisation that already exists. But we're also conscious that we've got some other targets in and around Anthony on the leases that we have, and we've done a little bit of work in that. There'll be, clearly some information come out on that in later releases. But at this stage, we're confident around what we have at Anthony, and that we can deliver on more if we require.
Excellent, Roger. So just before I let you go, what's the immediate next objective for Anthony in terms of project development works? And you mentioned in your announcement that you're confident that we will see some assays from the Lucky Break drill program next week. If these results are favourable, is this the catalyst for more drilling?
Okay, Alex, in relation to the next work on Anthony, well, we've got a number of things that we're going to be doing. There'll be a comprehensive study into the data itself. We're actually at the moment re-entering all the data and rerunning the data with a different view of the world. We are also going to look at the metallurgy and look at beneficiation, and of course the following test work to follow that up. And we'll also be potentially looking at the drill logs that we have in the drill core, which there's plenty of. So we've got a lot to do, and we've very excited about it. This is clearly a unique situation where we've got a very large deposit, and moly's very it's unique, and we're seeing that it's becoming more and more in demand due to its nature. So it's a mineral that has a number of properties that are unique to itself. It can't be substituted, because it's resistant to very high heat that can make an alloy of steel that's harder than most steels that are on the market. And there's a number of uses of it sort of developing in this new world that we live in. But now, in relation to the Lucky Break gold deposit, well, we looking forward to releasing our results next week. We're excited about that. And if they're favourable, we'll certainly be looking to do the second phase of drilling there.
Excellent, Roger. Really appreciate you joining me today. There's certainly a number of key objectives from a project development standpoint to keep an eye out for over the next few months, and all the best with it. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Alex. Cheers.